Hi there. I'm Mike Slicker, and we're at Lighthouse Books in Dade City today. This is another one of our rare book moments. It's an informal talk about old books, some of the things about book collecting, all of those kinds of things. And today we're just going to talk about vocabulary. Every endeavor has its own jargon, and it's useful to know what the words mean, the precision of the words, so that we have more understanding. This, believe it or not, is a book. And this is called the upper cover. This is the lower, obviously. This is a spine. Underneath the spine is a back strip that the binders will use. Sometimes those words are confused, but this is a spine. This is the joint on the outside. The interior is a hinge. In this case, the book is bound in what we call Morocco, crushed Morocco. Around the outside here is a border. The inside is, and these decorations are done with a little wheel that the binder uses. And a wheel is a fillet. There are corner devices in this case, and this is a frame. As we open up the book, we find some marks in here, decorations in here. These are dentelles, kind of like teeth. And this is a doublure. In this case, the doublure is in silk, as is the front end paper, which is a silk end paper, of course. And we have a half title, and of course, the title page, which gives you the author and the title, the publishing information, and at the foot of the title page will be the printing date as well. This is the top edge. In this case, the top edge is gilt. In fact, all the edges in this case are gilt, so we say all edges gilt. This is the fore-edge. This is the head of the spine, not the top, it's the head. And this is the foot, not the bottom, it's the foot of the spine. And you can see we have some gilt decorations on the spine. And each of these little places is called a panel. It has raised bands. The reason it has raised bands is because there are individual parts of the book that are sewn together, and the binder uses these spaces underneath to have the knotting. There's another example. We see, again, we see the border, the frame. In this case, the former owner had his monogram added. He also had these little green things are inlays. They've taken pieces of leather and inlaid it so that there's an additional decoration. And then, of course, his dentelles are quite elaborate and also have more inlays. Again, we have the silk doublure, the silk end paper, And again, all the edges are gilt from the head to the foot. And again, more inlays on the panels. Sometimes it gets real elaborate. Here's an instance where on the fore-edge, if you put the pages just right, you find a painting. It's a fore-edge painting. In this case, this is probably a new one. That is to say, it was done long after the book was originally bound or published. The book was published in the early 1800s. The fore-edge gives every indication of being someplace in the later 20th century. Here's an example that has all kinds of onlays. We have onlay leaves, grape leaves, grape clusters. And here the binder has given us a Persian. This is, of course, a copy of Omar Khayyam's Rubaiyat. Again, all the edges are gilt. On the rear, we have borders, panels. On the spine, again, we have lots and lots of inlay work. Fancy pink doublures. Having a shared vocabulary is the key to understanding, regardless of what we're talking about. It's important that we understand one another, whether you are immersing yourself in book collecting or just curious about some of the things that you've read or heard. It's good to know what the words mean and what they're referring to. If you are a book collector and don't have a copy of John Carter's ABC for book collectors, I certainly suggest that you go out and get one just as soon as you can. As you can see, they've actually labeled things for you, hinges and fore-edge and all of that sort of thing. And throughout the book, we have easy to understand dictionary. So if you've not got one on your shelf already, go out and find one. Enjoy your collecting, enjoy your books, and we'll see you next time. Have fun.